What cartoon characters would win in a death battle? Everyone loves to scale their favorite anime characters and place them in battles with others. But what about a cartoon character? I had this idea and I thought it'd make a great video. We're going to take all 9 cartoon characters in this roster and place them in a death battle. We got Finn and Jake, Dipper and Mabel, Avatar Aang, Phineas and Ferb, Anakin Skywalker, Robin from the Teen Titans, Jimmy Neutron, Danny Phantom, and finally Mordecai and Rigby. So let's go ahead and get the rules out of the way. First rule, this is a free-for-all battle. Just the protagonist or the protagonist if there's two. For an example, you have characters like Finn and Jake who share their screen time, so you'd say they're both the protagonist of their story. Rule number 2, everyone is the most powerful version of themselves from the main story. Spin-offs or sequels do not count. Number 3, characters can use items from their verse if they were in possession of it at some point during the main story. 4, this will be a death match. The characters will have to kill each other to win. 5, this fight will take place in an empty town so everyone's on an even playing field. 6, each team will have 1 day prep time. 7, time travel is not allowed. A lot of these characters have an ability that allows them to time travel, but that won't be allowed. 8, instant unfair win conditions are not allowed, such as Mordecai and Rigby using the power to just say we win or something like that. That's not allowed. Before we jump into it, I just want to remind you guys to like and subscribe. It really helps me out, so make sure you do it if you want to. I appreciate it. Let's start off by scaling each character, looking through their stories, items they have access to, and their strongest feats, seeing what they would be capable of at full power. We'll start off with Finn and Jake, and now this is a good start because at their base, they're very, very strong characters with amazing feats. Just at base, we can put them at city block level, as Jake would just be able to become huge and just strike down a giant city, and that's even without their magical items. Jake has the ability to turn the tides of a fight easily, as he can hide items within himself, or even Jake within himself, and protect him until it's time to strike. They have great teamwork and chemistry built over a long period of fighting together that will allow them to put almost anyone down, as long as they stay coordinated, not even mentioning their magical items yet. Before we start off, we can say that Finn and Jake are about even with each other. If anything, Jake's stronger than Finn, but as you'll see, Finn has stronger feats that will be scaling them too. The first of their feats will be a speed feat, where Finn flies from Earth to Mars in about 10 seconds, meaning he's traveling at 6x the speed of light. He can't normally move these speeds, obviously, as he needed the Martian transporter to send him to Mars, but he is able to react and dodge to the debris in his way pretty easily, meaning at the lowest, Jake and Finn can react and dodge attacks 6x the speed of light. Obviously, throughout the show, we regularly see them fail to dodge speeds at a slower speed, so we'll lowball and say their base reaction speed is insanely fast and will be able to dodge and counter attacks that are perceivable on a human level. So lowballing them will give them a reaction speed of superhuman. Now, while Finn is just a normal human, he is the hero of a land with insanely powerful monsters, and he has defeated and won against some of the strongest characters we've seen in the show, such as the most powerful being in the show being the Lich, literally the embodiment of death. And they also bested the Grob Gob Glod Grod, a godlike creature, for a short period of time. Finn even used the 4D sword to slice through a black hole, making them at least planetary level. Now, let's talk about the items they'll be bringing into the fight. The Finn sword, which takes Finn's fighting ability and doubles it while also sending energy slashes out from the blade. He also has the Grass sword, which doubles his reflexes, the Demon Blood sword that can hurt anything, the 4D sword that can slash through reality but can only be used once, and the Night Sword, which neutralizes the power of other beings, which would be perfect for countering characters like Danny Phantom or Avatar Aang. Let's say Finn is using a Zoro-style technique to wield all the swords at the same time. You can see how he quickly becomes a problem. Finn also has the Psych Arm, which he is able to use to rip off the top of a mountain easily while exhausted, and Jake scales to all of Finn's feats, making these two together easily city level, if not planetary level, with the 4D sword and Psych Arm helping them scale immensely. The main problem here is that they would have to be able to see and react to attack by the other fighters to land any significant blows, and their defense, while strong, is a weakness compared to their ridiculous offensive capabilities with the 4D sword. Avatar Aang, the avatar capable of bending all 4 elements at an extremely high level by the end of the series. He would easily be able to alter the battlefield using earth bending, or flood the battlefield with a tsunami using water bending, making a tornado destroy the battlefield or a volcano erupt, even capable of bending other characters' bloods if it came down to that point, or bending the air out of their lungs. Avatar Aang is easily continent level. While weaker than some of the other characters here, his versatility and speed may give him the advantage and allow him to win this fight. Now, some people will overstate Aang's abilities, saying he scales to every avatar, as stated in the show, But he isn't an adult yet in the main story, so we can't scale him to the feats of the other avatars. For this video, I feel it's more accurate to scale him to his base powers and ability as seen in the show and performed by him, as that's the most fair in my opinion. I also don't believe that we can scale him to his strongest feat on screen, which is merging with the Moon Spirit to defeat the entire Fire Nation's navy, as he combined with another character here, which is unfair for this battle. I'm also going to say that energy bending would not work on any characters that does not use bending. I know this is heavily nerfing Aang, but he still has more options to fight with, and will still be a heavy hitter considering he has access to stuff like the Avatar State, which gives him a massive buff. Aang is shown easily dodging lightning bending, which we'll say is not as fast as normal lightning, given other characters are able to see it, meaning Aang is somewhere around hypersonic speeds, being able to speed blitz most of the other characters here. Aang also has access to seismic sense, being able to use earthbending to predict your next attack. This works so fast that it even shows the opponent not even moving to him, meaning he is able to react at least equally to his speed feats at hypersonic speeds. For feats, Aang is able to stop lava from destroying a village with just airbending while out of the avatar state, dodge lightning shot from Fire Lord Uzai, and flood the battlefield by raising water level, which took immense amount of power. While Aang isn't shown to use any items that give him a crazy advantage here, he's still a monster in this fight and should be feared for his speed and ability to change the ground you're standing on. Next up is Jimmy Neutron, Mr. Sodium Chloride himself. Obviously, just being a 12-year-old boy, he is very frail and would be instantly obliterated if it wasn't for his gadgets and inventions. Given the one-day prep time, Jimmy would be able to build countermeasures to each character and have a reliable way to defeat each one. He can build these devices very quickly, even be able to create new ones in the middle of combat if the last one failed. Let's talk about Jimmy's tech. He has created giant mechs and quantum clones. He easily becomes a multi-continental threat given the prep time. He has a shrink ray which can be used to shrink or grow objects to massive sizes. It is even the ability to speed up and slow down time, giving Jimmy the time to react to anything faster than light speeds. He has the wormhole generator Jimmy can use to instantly teleport anywhere, the brain gain helmet which can quadruple buff Jimmy's intelligence even more, nanobots which can erase things from existence, and the flux duplicator which will allow him to duplicate himself or any tech that may be close to getting destroyed. Jimmy is also capable of moving massively faster than the speed of light speeds, but this is not his fighting speed, as he's still a normal human that couldn't react to things at that speed. He also has the pain transferal helmet that allows Jimmy to deflect any damage upon him to hurt his opponent. Dude, personally, I'm amazed by how strong Jimmy Neutron is. While having top tier tech, Jimmy would still need the time and strategy to utilize it, making it useful in this fight, and would still have to effectively use his win conditions. He can easily counter our heavy hitters here, but may be too focused on the strongest and be taken out by something more simple. His first feat is using the speed shoe spray that he invented to allow him to run so fast that no one could see him and he became invisible. He used his grow way to become planet sized. I think his durability remains weak here, and this would be kind of ineffective in a fight. And he has basically created lightsabers that are energy swords. He has created neutron flares that is able to negate intangibility. That literally destroys Daddy Phantom, takes him off the board. Jimmy Neutron is a reality busting, arguably planetary character with insane win conditions. But as just being a normal human, he would have to properly plan out and execute to defeat the rest of the roster. Anakin Skywalker. Sand is coarse and rough. Here, we're just talking about the Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars TV show. And nothing outside that canon will affect his ranking. Anakin's base is somewhere around building level. With his force abilities, we know he's easily able to defeat other combatants and groups of droids with ease, while also having force precognition in battle, which allows him to perceive attacks before they come and react to them at very fast speeds. Just superhuman low. He doesn't scale to most of the other characters here. He is easily fast enough to dodge blaster fire routinely at close ranges, but we often see him get defeated in his own verse, which is very weak relative to the other characters here. Anakin's high wall potential, he only lives up to once in the canon when he's able to restrain the living godlike embodiments of light and dark in the Mortius arc, which would make him absurdly strong. I'd say at that level, he would be able to easily destroy planets with the Force, if not throw them at his opponents. But like I said, he doesn't do this throughout the rest of the show, so I do not believe that you can scale him to this feat. I do believe that Anakin at his peak would be able to throw massive objects and potentially even throw Star Destroyers at a city, as we see Darth Vader do. Anakin is also a very skilled swordsman with a weapon that could cut through almost anything. Anakin's lightsaber would be able to cut through most of the other tech of the top tier fighters here. The durability does not matter against him. He would also be able to use the Force on intangible characters such as Danny Phantom, having a counter for him too. So while not being as strong as some of the other characters here, he is still superhuman and could go toe to toe with our heavy hitters while he's enraged. But characters like Aang could easily just crush Anakin or make space away from him and he'd have no counter or be able to react fast enough. But again, if you scale him to his most powerful feat, he would easily be able to defeat the heavy hitters here. Let's talk about his strongest feats in the show. Now, his strongest feats are not crazy. The only thing he's really done defeated very strong Sith that just scaled to Anakin, and toppling buildings and throwing large objects. Anakin also isn't seen using any powerful items that can help him here. So we're just moving on. Before writing this video, I would have guessed that Anakin would have been in the top 2 or 3 of this fight, but he just doesn't scale. Next up is Dipper and Mabel from Gravity Falls, and Jesus Christ are they outclassed here. While Gravity Falls has some extremely strong items, Dipper and Mabel would not make it even a second into this fight. Let's talk about the gear they have access to. Their most powerful gear would be the time tape, which we have to take away from them because time travel isn't allowed. Dipper's journal would also be completely useless here as it doesn't have any information on the opponents. Now they do have the shrinking and growing flashlight, but it would be outclassed by Jimmy's grow ray or anything similar. It would be useless given the power they're fighting against. Dipper and Mabel's best chance here is if they use the swap carpet and be able to switch bodies with a more powerful character. But who's to say they would even be able to use their abilities? And they would also have to touch them to swap places. Now they do have access to the Shakatron, but it requires more people than just them to pilot it, and would be immediately destroyed by the stronger characters. They would most likely be the first 2 characters gone in this fight. The only character I could see them being able to defeat is Danny Phantom, because they have access to the Quantum Destabilizer, which immediately detangles everything that doesn't make sense and is intangible. Dipper also has access to the Infinitely Sided Die, which is a die that could have any outcome when it's rolled. So you could say the die just lets them win or allows them to become planetarily strong, or everyone else dies. It's completely unpredictable, but this can't play a factor here as no instant win conditions are allowed. But yeah, they scale to like door level at best. Mordecai and Rigby. Bro, are you going to be shocked by how strong these 2 freaking goobers are? They are easily planetary and maybe even stronger given the items they have access to. And the feats they have accomplished are insane, such as surviving the universal reset from the fight of Pops and Anti-Pops. They withstood attacks from the godlike Anti-Pops. They can even travel anywhere in seconds using the universal golf cart. They can use Death Kwon Do to an extremely high level with the most powerful attack, Death Punch, which I argue is large city level. And they have the Death Block, which scales to the power of that attack. They also have Death Jump, which allows them to jump into the atmosphere, making them very strong in just hand-to-hand combat, even without their items. The first of which being the Fist of Justice that are easily small planet level and allow them to beat a planet buster who destroys planets for fun. This combined with the Death Kwon Do would be an insanely powerful attack, landing with planet-destroying force. They have also obtained the power of the Basketball God, which allows them to move at massively faster than the speed of light speeds, but only while playing basketball, so they don't always have access to the speed. But they also have the Sugar Donuts that allow them at the very lowest to move at hypersonic speeds, as they see things in slow motion while using them. And their ultimate item, the Power, a keyboard that turns whatever they sing into reality, allowing them to warp reality and give them instant win conditions. They also have the Realm of Drathon that allows them to trap you in a D&D game that runs by their own rules and making, so you'd have to outsmart them in their own game. They also have the Galaxy Destroyer, which can destroy entire galaxies. Look at this, it's destroying the whole galaxy. But let's rule out the instant win conditions that are the Galaxy Sword and the Power to not make this too easy for them. So by our rules, Mordecai and Rigby are planetary, and their attack power is insane. They also have super strong durability and are able to move at hypersonic speeds. These guys would easily solo your favorite verse, even without their 2 most powerful items. The next character is Robin from the OG Teen Titans. Bro, we don't even need to talk about this guy after Mordecai and Rigby. He is instantly dead. The only characters he could handle are Dipper and Mabel. Everyone else would end him in a second, as he's just a human. He's like door level at best. While Robin is my favorite cartoon character of all time ever written, he doesn't stand a chance. But funnily enough, his counterpart in the Teen Titans Go would solo everybody else on this roster easily. Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom is a 14-year-old kid with all the powers of a ghost. His most powerful ability is to go intangible and not be hit, as well as he can pass his intangibility onto other objects he touches, meaning he can pick you up, throw you into the ground, and then he'll release you, and you'll be stuck in the ground. He can possess people, he can also shoot ghost beams and make ghost barriers to protect himself. Second strongest ability is the Ghostly Wail, which is a supersonic scream destroying stuff hit by it. Now for scaling Danny Phantom. He has been stated by the creator to be able to dodge ghost rays, which are faster than the speed of light, making Danny Phantom's combat speed massively faster than the speed of light. But I think you can tell by the show that he is not massively faster than the speed of light. He is constantly hit by stuff, not able to dodge stuff, and the ghost rays don't even look that fast. Now keep in mind he has the ectoskeleton suit that amplifies his speed by 100 times, making Danny hypersonic on the low end, and easily city level with this suit as he's seen kicking characters through multiple buildings from one hit. He even destroys the universe equivalent to the Infinity Gauntlet easily, making him extremely powerful. Also in the episode, it is stated that the Men in White, which is the equivalent to the Men in Black, don't know if the Infinity Gauntlet at full strength would be able to defeat Danny Phantom. If we scale him by this, that makes him massively powerful in Ghost Mode. The downside is that he'd have to be in Ghost Mode, and most characters have a counter to it, and would just be able to make him a normal human, and he couldn't stand toe-to-toe with any of the other characters here. But with the Ghost Mode, he is easily able to stand toe-to-toe with the most powerful characters here. His durability is insanely strong, and you can multiply all that by 100x, making Danny Phantom at least city level, and he's carried by his intangibility, meaning you can't even hit him. Phineas and Ferb. Two characters capable of building anything in a single afternoon, including their most insane invention, a roller coaster that goes all the way up to space. Characters capable of building anything extremely fast, including giant mechs or machines that could land planetary strength blows, as they're able to redirect a planet on a collision course with Earth, making a piece of technology as strong as a planet. Ghost detection and containment systems for Danny Phantom, and even technology rivaling Jimmy Neutron, giving them one day of prep. They once built a laser capable of destroying multiple cities, making them easily continental with prep time. But what we've got to remember is that they've never been in a death battle before. They normally just build for fun, so it would be unlike them to build traps and technology that kills the competition. I would say they are very strong competition and very capable and extremely fast builders, but I don't see them winning overall. I see them creating a very strong defensive base, but not putting out attack power to kill the other characters in this case. Yeah, in the middle of the fight with multiple superhumans and technology outclassed by Jimmy Neutron, they would be out of this fight way before it's over. Items they have access to include the supercomputer that was able to predict the events in the entire galaxy, which they could use to predict the fight ahead of them and prepare much better. They also have access to the shrinking and growing ray. They have super shoes, which give them the ability to move at hypersonic speed and dodge any attacks directed at them. I mean, with prep time of a day, they could easily build anything and have infinite power. But being realistic with their feats in the show, I think their technology would rival Jimmy's, but they would be much more defensive and eventually fall to our more powerful contender, as they aren't planetary and are very weak in the scaling here. The main reason I believe they don't scale is because they're just kids that build for fun. They haven't been in battles like Jimmy Neutron has been in before. They just build for their friends and they make cartoony stuff that's not really practical sometimes. And I think they would just get taken out. Our heavy hitters being Mordecai and Rigby, Jimmy Neutron, Finn and Jake, Phineas and Verb, Avatar Aang, and Danny Phantom. Let's start with the people who are instantly out, our low tiers. We have Robin, Dipper, and Mabel. They're instantly dead. Not only because they're outclassed in terms of tech, but they're also not superhumans. They would instantly be speed blitz, and there is no world where they're even able to touch any of the rest of the roster, except maybe Danny Phantom. And only because they have tech that allows them to. The next one out is Anakin Skywalker. He's a very strong fighter, and he'd be able to cut through most attacks with his lightsaber. But let's be honest, he's fully outmatched and would fall very early on. He could not withstand a single hit or counter any of the stronger and faster characters. Next out is Danny Phantom. While being really strong and having the stealth advantage and has the ability to hide for a little bit, most of the fighters here have a counter for him, and you might be able to say he'd be able to possess one of the stronger characters, but he would just be immediately kicked out by the inventor characters that have a counter for him. He's extremely outsped and extremely outmatched. He'd be done immediately. After Danny is Avatar Aang, who, while being very strong and is able to change the battlefield and stand toe-to-toe with the strongest one here, he just wouldn't be able to overcome the traps made by Jimmy and Phineas and Ferb, or be able to put up much of a fight against Mordecai and Rigby. While you could say he would be able to defeat Jake and Finn, I disagree, as I think Jake would be able to keep dodging out of the way of Aang's bending and be able to land a hit with the Night Sword, taking away his first bending. But yes, if Aang is able to land a single hit, we could see Finn and Jake fall first. Our fourth place has to be Finn and Jake. While yes, they are very strong and their teamwork got them this far, all the characters left would have a plan for them or would have an easy counter for them. Their 40 blade would only be able to get them out of one bad spot, and after one hit is landed, it breaks. So our heavy hitters here, it's just over for them. Our third place is Phineas and Ferb. While their tech is strong, and a one-day build-up would be enough time for them, Mordecai and Rigby could speed blitz them, or Jimmy Neutron's tech would outclass them. And while their defensive capabilities are crazy, they're going to fall against the other character's power. Our final two is Mordecai and Rigby versus Jimmy Neutron. Mordecai and Rigby immediately try to speed blitz Jimmy Neutron and destroy whatever mech he's in, and they have him on his back foot. As soon as he throws out any attack, it's immediately deflected or destroyed. But they aren't fast enough to catch up to Jimmy. While Jimmy is moving extremely fast, he cannot react to the speed he is moving at, and anything he's flying towards he'll end up running into. Jimmy will have the win conditions, but I do not believe he will have the time to use them against the insane speed and power of Mordecai and Rigby. Making our winners planetary and hypersonic speed, Mordecai and Rigby, who honestly will solo most verses at their peak. If you want to see a video of me scaling Mordecai and Rigby versus other verses, let me know in the comments down below, and like the video for part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, I appreciate you guys so much, and you people make this YouTube channel possible. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.